It was truly one of the most chilling and tyrannical policies.
Justin Trudeau. Let's talk about this for a second.
Because of you, Justin Trudeau resigned.
Trump says Canada should merge with the U.S. and has been trolling Trudeau as he steps down.
Trans agenda and this agenda and that woke agenda, Palestine agenda. Oh,
Clearly there is a higher being with a sense of humor.
This Justin Trudeau resigned.
Na 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 na. Hey, goodbye.
But in as a farewell, I wanted to go through some of his top scandals because the guys, you forget how much, like, you know, time always makes you forget a little bit, but it's like that guy just was damage city. He was a meteor for the country.
Yeah, he has not done a good job.
The We Charity scandal was a banger.
Yeah.
You remember that one?
Oh, of course. The We Charity.
Well, if you want to, you can describe any of them if you want.
I mean, basically the Kielburgers, what was that? These two like brothers who were like, they were like these child prodigies and they started this charity and then it was just like, what was it? Like they embezzled tons of money or something?
Yeah, his whole family. So the Trudeau government awarded a $900 million student loan grant program to We Charity. So $1 billion, an organization with Trudeau and his family has personal financial ties. Trudeau's mother, brother, and wife received significant speaking fees from We Charity. So basically, like, he has this organization that his like family's friends are like super involved in, and he gives them $1 billion, which is like unprecedented amount of money
for Canada. Yeah, that honestly, that kind of, you go, that probably shit happens in America all day.
Sure. Residential graves, that was another one.
The residential graves. I mean, I called that like week one. I go, they haven't found anything.
Yeah.
I remember I had a comic, a guy we know messaged me, and he's like, I don't know. He's like, it's pretty like, I think there's like a lot of this shit. And I go, no. I'm like, they haven't found a fucking tooth, nothing, a bone fragment, nothing. And they like, they burned down 120 churches.
And he cheered it on.
Yeah, he was just like, fuck those churches.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Obviously, blackface and brownface are, a couple favorites.
Yeah, I mean, those are by far the best. People kind.
Yeah, people kind.
Corrected that girl.
People kind was solid.
People kind was a good one.
Mankind.
I don't think you can say that when you did blackface so many times.
Yeah, people kind was a big Trudeau one.
Yeah.
His India trip, basically, he's had a bunch of India scandals, but he went to India and then he brought, which was like the equivalent of like a Sikh terrorist.
Yeah.
So it'd be the equivalent of if someone came to America and then they were like, oh, I'm going to bring a couple of my buddies to this dinner, and then brought his buddy to the dinner, and the guy was like one of the guys that bombed 9/11.
I think he did the Air India, the biggest like plane terrorist bombing in Canadian.
Yeah,
history.
it'd be
bigger than
it'd be like someone from Sweden. Someone from Sweden comes to America to the White House and they bring their buddy, and their buddy's in Al Qaeda.
Yeah. Like it would be like kind of like if you like brought like like a Nazi to like Parliament or something and just like gave him like a round of applause.
Another
he did
scandal.
that. Oh yeah, no, he did do that. As
Well, it's kind of.
Whoops.
I think the one with this is, I think what his deal was, he was just like, he was just like, oh, an Indian guy?
Right.
You guys love Indian guys.
I have all your clothes.
Yeah, you guys, Indians, I'm in India. Yeah, of course. They love Indian guys here. And in his mind, he's like, there's no difference. Like, he doesn't understand any of the, like,
and he was wearing all the stuff.
interdynamics.
Like, if you see the photos where he's wearing, like, that orange, like,
He was wearing all
and
the
everybody
gear.
around them was like, we don't dress like this. So, like,
the main guys
they're
were
like,
we wear suits.
I shop at Patagonia. Like, I don't dress like, nobody here dresses like this.
Dude, I guess the equivalent of that, I like doing the equivalent, would be, a guy comes to America from, let's say, Sweden, and he's like visiting the prime minister, and he shows up with like American flag do-rag and like a white beater.
Totally.
And he's got like a big belt buckle and
like
cowboy boots.
Cowboy, just the works. And you're like, we don't. Some of us dress like this. It's not traditional.
And then also I have a member of Al Qaeda here.
Whoops.
It's just like the dumbest trip of all time.
I mean, he is literally arguably, like, I know it's hard to tell when you're in the moment, but like he is going to go down as arguably the worst person.
He's the worst one.
Of 100%. All time.
No one's taken a country on a bigger dip than him.
Hell no.
The Freedom Convoy, when the Canadian truckers were there, and then he started blocking off their bank accounts,
Shutting down
crypto,
bank accounts,
putting them in jail.
All that stuff, yeah. I mean, dude, there was people who donated to the bankers, or to the truckers who had like remember that Give, Send, Go website?
Right.
And then they got outed, and then they were like, there was like people getting fired from their jobs for just donating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was one. His carbon taxes were always a big scandal.
Yeah, I mean,
basically-
I don't know if this is related, but the fucking Canadians haven't medaled in the World Juniors in the last 2 fucking years, and the United States won both golds.
You're not happy with that.
I mean, it's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. But
crazy.
You're specifically unhappy.
Well, it's insane.
It used to be Canada versus Russia.
I know, and Russia's
Czechoslovakia.
Russia's not even allowed in it anymore.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, Russia's not allowed in it. Like they have, so there's no.
Can Russian players still come to America and play?
They can, but so there's the NHL All-Star game this year is they changed it because like the format was getting really boring, like most All-Star games, and so they changed it and they go it's the Four Nations Cup or whatever, and it's I believe it's Finland, Sweden, America, and Canada. So you're like there's like it's supposed to be this like kind of best on best national thing, but you're like no Russians.
Yeah, and the Russians are.
The Russians would be in top 3 easily.
So how do they leave? What you think Putin would be like? No, you can't
No.
go
Putin
play.
loves, dude. Putin loves puck, man. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me, dog? Putin loves puck. He goes, go fucking over to America and just go light it up for me. Go fucking light the lamp.
That's true.
No. Putin's.
He's not going to be preventing someone from playing in the NHL.
No, hell no. Although apparently there was like Artemi Panarin who plays for the Rangers here, a Russian guy. Like they did some shit where they were like threatening his family and stuff back in Russia because he had some issue where I can't remember what it was exactly, but he plays for the Rangers and he had some issue where they were like, I don't know what was going on, but whether he like didn't want to go back to Russia or something, and they were like literally like threatening his whole family to like kind of fall in line.
Oh,
Yeah, there was a whole thing. I remember he took like 2 weeks off because like he was like dealing with all this family shit because they were like,
that's tough to play puck when you got your family being held hostage.
yeah.
Cut to the feed of Justin Trudeau acting like a little ladyboy resigning. Which, by the way, Russell Brand, he posts all caps. It happened. Justin Trudeau has resigned. Elon comments, wow. Yep. This guy is a wow. Now let's see him play the ultimate victim. He had tears in his eyes, and that's probably because he's such a wimp that standing up is exerting way too much strength.
So then the last thing on Trudeau is he did his speech, which I don't think we're going to watch it. It was like 30 minutes long and it was crappy. And he basically was like saying all the accomplishments he had and stuff like that. It was a joke. All of his things, this is what he says. This is what him in his own words, this is what he say his top things were: progress on climate action, reconciliation on Indigenous communities, and Canada's leadership on the global stage. That's what he sees.
You're literally the
that's
biggest
what he sees
joke
his legacy
on the global stage.
Yeah.
And then you'll see like CBC or like Toronto Star, like the really left leaning places will be like the economy, like under Trudeau, like it went up like it's like the best it's ever done.
Are you
versus
fucked?
Stephen Harper, and you go, yeah, now adjust that for inflation. And let me know how it's
They
doing.
literally don't adjust for inflation.
No, they just go, it's up 50% in 10 or whatever. They're like, it's our GDP's up 50% in 10 years.
Dude, you should be
higher than that.
Honest to God, you should have your journalist license revoked immediately if you're writing articles not adjusting for inflation.
Dude, there was like I saw multiple articles basically saying like, actually, Trudeau's economy for his 10 years was better than Stephen Harper. Nobody thinks that. Like nobody, like maybe like whatever Canadian oligarchs
What the
are
hell?
like, yeah, shit's going good. Like your average person is like, it's never been worse.
That's something else.
crazy.
Yeah, these people are jokes.
Let's cut to the feed right before Trudeau took the stage at a stupid little podium. Trudeau's speech papers flying away. I like that. Uh-oh. How's he going to say what he wants to say without knowing what he wants to say? I don't know. Maybe his parting speech would have been better. Maybe it would have been worse if he had his papers. Okay, speechwriters, did you write down what I want to say? Okay, great. I'll say this. You frame me as a family man, caring, compassionate guy. Cool. You had notes to sound weak, meager. Okay, great. I'll read that. Put it at the podium. The weather says, hey, F you, Trudeau. We're against you too. Here's a little win for you. Good luck finding your feminine little papers. Justin Trudeau, you are a tyrant. You always have been. And based on all the Canadians I talk to and many Americans who look to the white land up north, we are very happy to see you go. Goodbye, Justin Trudeau.
There is something invaluable about the guy who oversaw the COVID insanity in Canada, which was, believe it or not, quite a bit more insane than the United States of America's COVID insanity. Maybe you could say it was on par with the worst parts of America. So the ones that overreacted the most. It was a country of Los Angeles or a country of New York City or something like that. But the guy who so clearly, invoked emergency powers to confiscate, or should I say confiscate, to freeze the bank accounts, not just of the truckers who were protesting, but of people who were accused of financially supporting the truckers, with no due process, mind you. So on the accusation, your bank account was frozen.
It's endless how many scandals this guy. Let's just go through. What are all the Trudeau scandals? List of political scandals. And these are okay. We want the ones since he's been in, by the way. Okay, so here we go. Justin Trudeau, here we go. Elbowgate, mail. Okay, so this is a list of all of the Justin Trudeau scandals that have happened since he got into power in Canada. And any one of these scandals, he should have resigned over. He should have called an election over. He should have been arrested potentially over some of these scandals. So I'm going to go through these. Elbowgate. On May 18th, 2016, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau came into physical contact with two opposition MPs in the House of Commons during a parliamentary session on the final reading of Bill C-14, which is a bill about euthanasia in Canada, making it legal to do medical assistance in dying, which now is the second, I believe, if not first, leading cause of death in Canada is now euthanasia, medically assisted death. That is something that Trudeau brought in. So if you're a poor person, and things aren't going well for you, it's not like America where it's like, you can do this. It's America. Anything can happen. No, it's Canada. Kill yourself legally with the government's help and money. So he physically elbowed two female MPs in the House of Commons. During the incident, Trudeau grabbed Conservative MP Gord Brown by the arm and then inadvertently elbowed New Democratic MP Ruth Ellen in the chest. Trudeau apologized and was not subject to parliamentary sanctions. Okay, so he got away with that. Was the first one. Next one. Trudeau cash for access scandal. Reports of Trudeau attending cash for access events at the homes of wealthy Chinese Canadians. And people say that the Jews are running the government. No, but the Chinese, that's okay. If they have billions of people, let them fucking infiltrate every government in the world. But the Jews. No, excuse me, China. They did fucking COVID. Give me a break here.
Trudeau froze the bank accounts of protesters by claiming it was an emergency. These people are peacefully protesting my tyrannical mandates of get the jab. This is an emergency. It wasn't an emergency. Public's Galaxy Brain helped uncover proof that his government used faked intelligence to illegally frame protesting truckers as violent extremists.
Vacations with the Aga Khan.
Yeah.
So the Aga Khan is his buddy, who's this like billionaire philanthropist, and he's buddies with him. But this guy gets all this federal funding, and then Trudeau keeps taking Aga Khan, sending him private jets to go hang out on his private island.
Yep.
So this guy's whining and dining Trudeau, and then Trudeau's giving him like billions of dollars.
Hey, you scratch my back, I scratch your back.
He scratched the Aga Khan. Definitely got his back scratched. That Aga Khan's back scratch looks like Tucker Carlson after fucking the demons.
That thing is raw.
Yeah, Aga Khan's back is fucking worked on.
Aga Khan scandal. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau was found to have broken 4 provisions in the Conflict of Interest Act by accepting a 2016 Christmas vacation on the Aga Khan's private island. The ruling made Trudeau the first prime minister in Canadian history to break federal ethics rules. This is 2017, and he's still going strong. Doesn't give a fuck. It's insane. Next one, cultural appropriation. During February 2018 visit to India, Justin Trudeau and his family were regularly photographed donning traditional Indian garb Outlook India, one of the country's most popular English language news magazines, headlined an article, Trudeau's family attire too flashy, even for an Indian, various Canadian international. So he went and dressed as Indian. He'd already done blackface multiple times at this point. Everybody knew about that. He was elected. The blackface thing came out right when he was elected in 2015. Trudeau Gropegate in 2018, an allegation resurfaced that Justin Trudeau, before becoming prime minister, had inappropriately touched a female reporter at a music festival in the year 2000. Trudeau acknowledged the incident but remembered it differently, stating he did not feel he acted inappropriately but apologized. So he got away with that. Then SNC-Lavalin affair, which I was talking about, conflict of interest and ethics commissioner Mario Dion, investigation into the allegations that Prime Minister's office interfered with the Justice Department's probe of Quebec construction giant SNC-Lavalin by pressuring former Attorney General Jody Wilson-Raybould to consider a deferred prosecution agreement. Okay, so Justice Department is the Justice Department of Canada that represents Canadian government in legal matters. The Department of Justice works to ensure that Canada's justice system is fair. Jody Wilson-Raybould was a Canadian lawyer, author, former politician who served with Trudeau. He fired her because he didn't want to fire himself. Deferred prosecution agreement means an agreement of criminal code. The agreement is made between the Crown prosecutor and the organization alleged to have committed the certain types of. So it's all fucked. Gerald Butts, the principal secretary, categorically denied the accusations and resigned. I didn't do it, but I'm resigning. I love that. Jane Philpott resigned as president of the Treasury Board in protest. The ethics commissioner ruled in 2019 that Prime Minister had been breached ethics rules, and that Trudeau and his officials had tried in 2018 to undermine a decision by federal prosecutors. So he got away with that. And that's in 2019.
Trudeau claimed a new hate speech law was required to protect children. It wasn't. Harming children was already illegal. Duh. Trudeau's government confirmed to a public that the law would allow judges to send people to prison for speech crimes for life.
Now, again, more SNC-Lavalin problems. April 2019, it surfaced that SNC-Lavalin made illegal donations to the federal Liberal Party for a period of 5 years. The Liberals received the information in 2016 and did not make it public for 3 years. Employees made contributions totaling over $110,000 to the party, which were later reimbursed by the company. Actions which are prohibited for this one executive was charged, and a compliance agreement was signed with the company to not break the rules again. Then the blackface again, 2019. During federal election, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau wearing brown face makeup. Teacher at West Point Academy, a total of 3 images, 1 video surfaced, 3 different events when Trudeau wore racist makeup. That got away with that. That was fine. We Charity, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau announced on 25th June 2020 that the government had chosen We Charity to run the long-promised $912 million Canada Student Service Grant. Following complaints by opposition parties that Trudeau family had ties to We Charity, the ethics commissioner in July 2020 announced an investigation into Trudeau and his government's decision to have the charity administer the program. Because of the complaints, we and the federal government decided to part ways. Oh, nothing to see here, folks, but we're not going to do it anymore. Every time they get caught, oh, we didn't do anything wrong, but we gotta go. At a press conference in July 2020, Trudeau apologized for not recusing himself from cabinet discussions. Oh, I am sorry. Ethics Commissioner Mario Dion's report confirmed Trudeau's assertion that Canada's civil service had recommended We Charity to manage Canada's student service. It's all bullshit. Then the ArriveCan app, which was a Liberal Party idea that they spent. How much money did they spend on this fucking app? There was a COVID bullshit app. The Canada's ArriveCan app was developed and introduced in April 2020 as a COVID-19 screening and communication tool requiring travelers entering Canada to upload their contact information, travel information, and quarantine plans. Remember that when you had to fucking have a quarantine plan? Whose idea was that? Trudeau and his government. The app was initially developed as a joint effort between the Canadian Border Services Agency, CBSA, and the Public Health Agency of Canada. The app became mandatory to use for all travelers entering Canada in November 2020. And after a new version was launched in July 2021, its use was kept a compulsory public health screening requirement for all travelers entering Canada until October 2022. It cost the government $54 million with 23 different subcontractors. Can you fucking believe this? Can you fucking believe this? Developers at two separate IT companies each developed duplicates of the ArriveCan app in less than 2 days for an estimated cost of $250,000. So where did the money go? Who did the money go to? No, all these people are getting richer. It's like George Carlin said, it's a club and you aren't in it. It's a big club and you aren't in it. And there's more. There's just endless. Government of Canada, China, CSIS, Liberal Party, Justin Trudeau is part of this one. In late 2022, various media outlets around the world reported on a suspected attempt by the People's Republic of China to infiltrate Parliament of Canada by funding a network of candidates. That happened. So a bunch of Canadian candidates are just Chinese fucking Communist Party members. Here's another one. On September 22nd, 2023, during the visit to Ukraine. Visit of Ukrainian President Zelensky to the Parliament of Canada, Waffen SS veteran, so a Nazi veteran, Yaroslav Hunka, was thanked for his service in the SS Division Gallica by Speaker Anthony Rota and praised as a Canadian and Ukrainian hero for fighting Russians. He received a standing ovation from the House members, Justin Trudeau, Ukrainian President Zelensky, and German ambassador to Canada was there. The German ambassador to Canada was there cheering for a fucking ex-Nazi. And this is these and you have these pieces of shit like Ahmed Hussein, members of parliament, trying to say that, oh, Justin Trudeau, he accomplished a lot. Yeah, he accomplished a lot, all right. All the shit that I just said is what he fucking accomplished. And nothing more. Nothing positive. I'm sorry.
Trudeau was a key figure in the totalitarian push by politicians in the U.S., shout out Biden administration, UK, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, Ireland, Scotland, Brazil, and the EU to create a fake hate pandemic in order to censor, interfere in elections, and incarcerate their critics. Ladies and gentlemen, Justin Trudeau.
It was truly one of the most chilling and tyrannical policies in the civilized world, certainly in my lifetime. Probably quite a bit more than that.
The only positive thing that Justin Trudeau accomplished was the legalization of marijuana. I have to admit, a lot of people voted for him in 2015 because the previous Prime Minister, Harper, had already been in power for 8 years. And usually Canadians go, 8 years, that's long enough. Let's switch it up. See how this next guy does. If Stephen Harper had said that he would also legalize marijuana, he would have won. It was a big issue for Canadians. Canadians love their weed. They wanted it legal for a long time.
Let's not forget his gun confiscation in Canada to a large extent. He disarmed the Canadian citizens, so they had no way to protect themselves from, well, him. Gun confiscation never works out super well. By the way, that's just for starters. I mean, we could talk about his climate initiatives. You mean we can't eat? Well, we're protecting you from bad weather. So yeah, you can't eat, but it's for your own good. We could go on and on, but these are just the highlights.